Hi guys, today we're going to be going through the lands claiming plugin, which can be found on Polymart and Spigot. This video will cover the basics, the generics of what a user will do when they first log in on your server, some basic admin features, and some of the processes. And then we're going to go through the config files and the possibilities. So, if we want to get started, we've got some precisely marked out chunks, which is perfect. I'm going to show you exactly what your player would do. So obviously they'd be in survival. And they'd come in, find where they want to claim, just do land claim or L claim. And here we go. We are in my claim. We have a little hologram. You will need a dependency for that to work, which we will go through later on in the video. And you can go in here and check storage, which is a nice little feature. But so now you've got this chunk claimed. This is the players. So if we walk out, we can be killed pretty much. And in here, we're safe. Now you're thinking, okay, I've got a land I can build and I can mine anything I want. What else can I do? So if you do /lands or /L, you'll be able to get to the land management area, where you can view areas. So you can sublet out bits of your land, which I'll show you later. You can manage the players. So if you want to ban someone, you can invite them to your land. Your relations with other lands. You want to be enemies or friends, you can do what you please. You can send offers to be friends, or you can see received offers to be friends. Level, this will come in a little bit later. The more and more money you get, or the more players you get, the more you progress. And that's how you go through the land levels, which we will go through in the config later. You have your inbox, which is where messages will appear, and bits and bobs. Exactly, you can see I've just created it, and then I joined, which makes sense because I'm the only person in it. Statistics gives you all lovely information about your land. Natural flags, so this is where you'll be able to amend what's allowed to happen in your land. So block spreading from land, yeah. Or yeah, so that's like snow or something like that. Fire spread, I'd probably turn it off if you don't want fire spreading everywhere. Roles, it's an interesting one. You will be the owner, you can't remove this one, and this will be the untrusted, which you can't remove either. You've got a couple others. These just have certain different permissions, practically, in between roles. So if we open this one up, you can see who's a part of it first of all, and then you'll be able to see what they're allowed to do. Yes. No, I don't want you to use ender pearls, and no, you can't trust players. There you go. Tenant role can't do any of that. You can also create roles and delete them as much as you'd like. Then you've got taxes. Bit unfortunate, you still have to pay taxes in a game. No, so you can just add them or you can remove them depending how you feel. Obviously you're paying 0 at the moment, but I could add 1 now. I'm paying 1, but there'd be no point if you're on your own because you'd be paying yourself. So then you've got miscellaneous. This would be basic bits, random bits like land name. We can also set a message, so that will display under the land information. Category, so you can change this if you have a shop, PvP area, if PvP is enabled, a mob farm. So this will appear on the all claims GUI. Then you've also got the icon. You could drag a sword in here and you'd be a sword. So that's a very basic, generic overview of the land area. You can also teleport to your spawn in your land. Very generic overview of the land claim, the land management GUI. So, say if I want to look at information of my land or someone else's land, you do L info, and it shows you when it was created, how many people are in it, and who's in it. The level, you'd have to click in there to check the level, but it'll be just the same as the other GUI. Relations, the exact same. A little bit of information on your win and kill ratio. That'll be calculated off the players, and then it'll be calculated off the wars you've had. And then you can request to be a member, but obviously we cannot because we're already in it. Lovely. So that's some of the basic bits. very, very self-explanatory. You got some basic commands like deposit, all. So I've just put nearly £1 million into the land bank, which is used to. The sun's going down. There you go, and get a nice little tan. But this is used to level up. So you saw that the first level was to put money in your bank, and we've just done it. So that's perfect. Then we have to get 4 people in it. Bit hard when you're on your own, but I'm sure your players will be able to figure out, and you'll have a good time. So guys, we have now finally gone through all the user bits and what they will experience when they first join your server, managing the lands. It's a good thing to get used to as the owner or a developer or an admin, just so you know if they do have an issue, you can help them. But anyways, let's get on to creating a sub area inside your land. So you see I've got this lovely yellow square. I'm going to place a sign into it up there. Perfect. That's what you want to do first. You want to go into your land, go up here, create area. Let's name it sunbed. Perfect. We've got sunbed here. We'll delete that one. We've got sunbed here. Now we need to select the actual area. So land selection. This will give you a tool to select one corner, the other corner. You're going to want to assign it to the area you just created, so sunbed. Then we're going to want to expand it and confirm. Expanding it means it goes top to bottom. And then confirming it just means you've confirmed, and yeah. So, now let's say you want to rent it out, you want to make some money. Perfect, let's do that. Go to L, land management area, areas. Let's rent this bad boy out. Let's select the sign. There you go. So, how often do we want the rent to be paid? If you're greedy, you could do every day or every week. Let's say that's good. Every week. £1,000. Not sure on your economy. Obviously, they can set that up themselves. And then the max someone can actually rent it's 8 days. So 1 extra day than what they actually rent it for. Or you can sell. Selling the land is permanently theirs, which can be a bad thing depending on your land that they claim. But renting is probably the best thing. You just press confirm. You got this lovely little sign here that lets you rent it. Obviously, I can't rent it because I own it, so which I could show you. But this is how they go in here. They'd be able to manage their own little square, build what they want, destroy what they want, and you can ban them free mainland, but they can do what they want in their own land or subland. Oh, perfect. Right, so now I've shown you how to create sublets inside of your current areas and lands for your users. I'm going to show you how to create a nation, and invite lands to join your nation. The one benefit of having a nation is you can actually go to war with others if you're violently inclined. But anyway, so let's create a nation. Nation create. I'm just name it Nation 1. Perfect. So now we've got the nation management menu. Same thing as the lands one, just you have lands, which shows you all the lands under your rule, and that will be Redeem Death, the land I created earlier. I've actually created a secondary one in the green terracotta area, which is land 2 from what I remember. This is Redeem Death. This is land 2. Perfect. So to join 2 lands that you own, we're going to go into land edit, which will specify which land you're editing. Actually, no. Let's go over here and we'll go into the nation tab, lands, and let's invite the land, shall we? Land 2. We've just invited land 2 as a member of our nation. Obviously, it's automatically accepted since I own both of them, which is completely fine. But you can invite other nations which you're not 100% aware or own, practically. So now we're a nation and we've got 2 lands. Perfect. And they're still separate. They still can have separate management menus and everything, but you rule them under one name, practically. So what happens? You've got So you got the peaceful, the war. Now you're a nation. You can theoretically go to war. It's kind of hard to go to war against yourself, but we're going to force a war amongst each other. Land war, land admin starts. There you go. War admin starts. We're going to start one between land 1 and redeem death. Tribute is going to be 100 or 1,000, sorry. And they have 1 day to prepare. Perfect. We've just started a war in between ourselves, so it's a bit of civil war going on. But if we go into the nation tab, you can see it's changed. We're in a war. Click on that. We can see who's attacking us, who's defending, which are both our lands, which is just for demonstrations. And you can see the points, so how you'd win. 1 kill equals 1 point, and to capture the enemy area, it'd be 5. You need 100 to win. Active flags, you can pick things up. You can attack a player, and you can enter their land. You can amend all of these as well. Capture the flag, recipe, you can click this. You need to build this in their land. Surrender, you can pay to surrender, but it's probably not the best thing. And then you can teleport to their border, which we have teleported over here. And there we go, we've just walked into the border of the enemy's land. So, interestingly, it tells you up here as well. But that is how you would theoretically invite other lands to your nation and start a war, practically. Potentially, you probably wouldn't want to start a civil war, but that was just an example. So now we've gone over most of the basic in-game things. Let's look over some of the admin and server owner commands, which would be useful to know. So, the first command, which I believe is very helpful, would be admin import. And the reason I think this is important is because you may be switching land claim plugins, and mate, it's such a faff if you want to switch them all over. That's the main deterrent. And now you can import other land claim plugins into your lands, which is perfect. I can't exactly show you, but you need to have both the plugins installed, and then you'll be able to import them into lands, and it will transfer over pretty seamlessly. I think that's a very good command to use if that's what you're doing, you're switching over. Then you have admin menu. This is just the basic admin menu. You can control global flags, and you can manage admin lands, which are people who are admin on servers and they have lands and stuff. So, you got action flags. You can turn all of these off, which I think is a really good option. Then management flags. Normally you have flags which you can amend. So yeah, similar to the lands management, just globally, really, which I think is very useful. And obviously you can see we've got the lands plugin, which we've been through. We've just done that. But I think that is a very useful feature to have in terms of claiming and being able to see where everyone else is. We're going to go over one more good feature, which I think there is. I'm currently running away from the shadow, but it will be the holograms, the top lands hologram. And I'll be right back once we've got it set up. So guys, I am back, and as you can see, I've created a little hologram, which I'll show you how. So pretty much you can configure this to calculate it based on members, chunks, kill to death ratio, win to death ratio, and I'm pretty sure the economy of these lands as well. Obviously I own both of them, so that makes sense for them to be in there. You can see their level as well, which I think is very interesting, but it's a good way to keep competitive edge up on your server. Someone will be able to see it without going /L top, and it shows them like that. I think it's a very good way to do this as well. I think it really puts it out there. So I'll show you how to set one up, shall I? So it's not necessary to do this, but I build 3 high. Then you want to put in /L admin hologram create lands. So that's if you want to base it off the lands or nations. You could do both. Then I would probably do it off the balance. And bang, we've now got a balance one. It shows everyone's balance, which, as you can see, the top land is me, and I'm balling, and the bottom land is not so much, but still, we're still good. It's just not as much. So that would be how you would craft, not craft, how you set up 2 holograms, which I think are quite neat feature, to be honest. But now, enough of in-game. Let's have a look at the plugin page, the configuration, and what is possible with the config. So guys, now I'm not in Minecraft. I'm in my natural habitat. I'm on Google, or well, Edge to be specific. But we're on the plugin page. This is where you download it and obviously buy it and support the creator. So as you can see, we can see the supported versions and the basic roles and bits and bobs that we've already gone through. And as you can see, there's absolute bundles of features. It's not short of any. I will give you some time to do it on your own, but that is just a couple of the integrations as well. Absolutely amazing, which you can look into. I'll add some down below. What I was going to highlight though, there is actually a very good wiki on how to start up the plugin itself and some basic troubleshooting issues. But now we've gone over this basic page, let's have a look at the config, shall we? So now we're in the lands config folder. Anyways, let's see what's going on. We've got data, which is where they host all your data. So the lands, leaderboards, player cache, makes sense. That's nothing you need to touch. Language, this is where we'll edit the GUI and the chat text. Logs, which is error logs. If you get an error in the config or something happens. Categories. Categories is where you can, it's a way to, you can add them, but it's categories of lands practically. What we went through earlier. Changelog, nothing to do with us. This is just when the plugin updates. Config YML. This is where the fun begins. So features, we can enable or disable certain things. I think it's all good being enabled. Claim world list to some players or some servers will use multiple worlds. So you can input another one going world 2, pretty much like that. You can set your English. Your language. This is English. Pretty basic stuff, really. Most of it is pretty self-explanatory, if I'm honest. The only thing you might want to change is this. If you're English like me, could be in the wrong way around, but that's completely fine. Time rewards, you can get money for playing, pretty much. And yeah, pretty basic stuff, really. It's pretty all self-explanatory for you, and it's actually all customizable to your server personally. It is based on your economy, really, and the other plugins that you use. You can also see, obviously, some of the integrations like Placeholder API, which is very good. Obviously, I'd install that anyways, so we can use the placeholders in other plugins all over our server. So you got some other basic bits. Fly, there's a couple of integrations which allow you to fly in lands, which is very useful. But enough of this. This is all personal to what you want to do with your server. So I'm not going to tell you what to do or what not to do. It's pretty self-explanatory. I'll let you have a look at that. But you got the events. You don't want to touch any of this. This means absolutely nothing to you, so I wouldn't touch that. Levels, you can actually change the name of the levels. You can change the what you need to level up, pretty much. So you know earlier those trust 4 players. Maybe we can change it to 1 player, like that. That'd be helpful for me because I'm playing on my own. But pretty self-explanatory as well. You will have to use the wiki to see the variables that you can use. But there's a lot of examples which are very helpful. But I recommend going through the wiki and using the variables you can. Nations. This is practically the configuration for the nations and some of the basic bits in it, really. How much it costs to make one, how many levels there are, and if they can have spaces, how it should be formatted, names, how many lands can be in it, distance between them, taxes, upkeep, basic stuff again, all down to your own server really. This you can edit. This is the roles, and these are the flags you can use. So I highly suggest keeping all of these on, unless you are playing, unless your server mode is very intricate. Then you can have a look through them. But you can change the name of the roles, which people can give in the lands. Yeah. We've been through this in the GUI, but this is the configuration globally. So whatever you edit in here will affect every single land. Just bear that in mind. Server name, you don't want to touch this. Nothing to do with us. Wars, once again, these are the war configuration file. So how many players should be in a land to be an attacker or a defender? How many days it can be declared? If someone should be online, broadcast it to the whole server. Sometimes you don't want it if it's a relatively big server, which I completely agree with. And you can configure the points. So maybe I don't want killing someone to be 1 point. Maybe I want it to be 24 or 2200. You can do whatever you want. So we've been through that. That's perfect. Web, this is where you'd configure the Dyn map or something similar to lands. Practically, this is where all the information's held. There's a whole guide on it on the actual plugin page, which probably do it a little bit better than me. But we're really going to have a look at the language, and we're going to see what we can do with the plugin. So this is the GUI. You can see we've got all the basic bits. It's absolutely massive. It is over nearly 4,000 lines long, which is insane. But there's a lot behind it. So all of this is GUI. Then here you've got all the text comments, which is still absolutely massive, as you can see. Just over 2,000 lines, which is humongous. So yeah, now I've been through that, I'm going to show you what's possible when you do edit that file. So guys, I'm back. We're in Minecraft again. How has this happened? No. Anyways, I've got the configuration installed now. So let's take a look at what's changed. This is the main menu. This is completely different. Completely different. So we've got emojicons. There's tons of stuff you can do. Absolute tons. You've got Unicode letters. So we have no data because I've just uploaded my configuration file, which is available for free on Built by Bit. Link will be in the description. Feel free to use it. It's completely free, and I provide support for it as long as it doesn't touch the plugin. So let's just create a new land real quick. Lovely. We're in. So we've got, look at this, absolutely awesome. Completely different, very similar, but different. I think it looks a lot better. But yeah, as you can see, there's so many capabilities with this plugin in terms of customization. That is. It is basic changes, but it does look a loads better. Layouts of things, even the borders, you can change everything. It's very good. So some of the main changes will consist of, you've got basic areas like this. It's completely changed and overhauled. The maps, reset, move, player management. My favorite one is roles. Absolutely looks awesome now. Looks amazing. Left click, let's edit this. So what's going on? Look at that, perfect. I think it looks absolutely awesome. I think it looks just a little bit better, a little bit smoother, really. So guys, I hope this video has been relatively helpful. It just covers a bit of the basics of the plugin and some of the more advanced areas and what is possible with the plugin. It may be simple changes, but it can really make a difference on your server. Even just with a touch of colour, it will definitely make a difference. So, thank you for watching the video, and I will be back with another video on something Minecraft related. and tutorial related. All right. Hopefully you'll have a good weekend, and I'll see you around.